In this video, I'm going to show you how much money I've made as a part-time driver with all my side hustle apps that I've used over the last 4 years. This includes DoorDash, Uber Eats, GrubHub, Instacart, Shipped, Amazon Flex, Turo, and even YouTube. A quick disclaimer I want to mention though is that while I do a lot of DoorDash and other side hustle apps, despite what the videos on my channel here would imply, I'm actually not a full-time driver. I have 60-hour weeks and I also have 10-hour weeks. The best way to explain it is that I'm not a full-time delivery driver that makes videos about it. I'm just a guy that makes videos that happen to be about DoorDash. I hope that makes sense. I only do large weeks for these videos on screen with the purpose of making an entertaining and educational video. I mention that so whenever you see the numbers I'm about to give you, you don't think that all of these videos are fake and that I'm like a fraud, because the truth is I only average about 20 hours of delivery a week. So most of my income is from YouTube, and I will show you those numbers as well. And when you do, you'll see that a lot of you probably make more money than I do. I have so many videos that either lost me money or that I made next to nothing for the amount of time that I put in. I've spent $10,000 on YouTube equipment and editing software, and pretty much every single time I leave for travel for some of these videos, I lose money as well. And I'm by no means complaining. I think I have the best job I could have literally asked for. But this also means that sometimes to keep the channel running, I have to work with sponsors, like today's sponsor, Rocket Money. But I don't just take sponsorships from any company that sends me an email. I only work with companies that I think are offering a service that really helps people, and that's never been more of the case than with Rocket Money, as I've been using them for 3 years, which is way before they ever reached out to me. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower your bills, and manage your money better. I love that with Rocket Money, I've been able to easily, safely, and securely cancel unwanted subscriptions, and in some cases even get refunds. Rocket Money also analyzes my spending habits, like how much money I've spent on gas and groceries, and helps me set a budget accordingly. This is especially important for delivery drivers, as there's so many expenses involved, from car maintenance to even food, and Rocket Money does a great job of visualizing that spending for you. Rocket Money has helped save its customers up to $740 a year when they use all of the features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join me and the other 5 million plus members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Nuggs or click the link in the description to get started today for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/Nuggs to get started for free. Okay guys, so now the numbers, and if you see me looking over here, look in this direction, I'm just looking at my screen which has all of them. So I started DoorDash in late 2020 and made $5,158.61. In 2021, I made $17,407.45. In 2022, I made $12,430.10. In 2023, I made $16,341.13. And last year, in 2024, I made $15,528.95. This is a 4-year total of $66,866.24. And this comes from a total of 8,814 DoorDash deliveries, meaning each delivery paid just over $8. Seeing 2023 that high actually surprised me, considering I got deactivated for the 3 busiest months of the year, which is October, November, and December. But that was also when I was making $1,000 a week during the Tesla series, so I guess it evened out. Of course, there's cash tips too, but I don't get those very often, and I definitely have never tracked them before, so I estimate from all my deliveries, including some of the other apps that we're about to get to, that I've got a total of $300 in cash tips. The next app I signed up for was Uber Eats, which is basically the same thing as DoorDash. You pick up food and you drop it off. And I've made $3,180.31 over the last 4 years. And here I didn't bother tracking, how much I made each year, just because the number was so low. Instacart was the next app that I installed, and I actually have quite a bit of fun doing it time to time off camera. It's decent money and gets me active as I walk around the store rounding up the most calorie-dense, sugar-rich foods for Bobby nodding out on insulin in his recliner. Since starting Instacart in 2021, I have made $6,016.62. Now, in 2021, I also installed Shipped, which is the same thing as Instacart, it's just worse. If Instacart is Mexican Coke, then Shipped is Diet Pepsi. It's just terrible, and I quit the same year that I started. And in 2021, I made $766.98 on Shipped. Now, 1 year later, in 2022, I got into Turo, which is a side hustle in which you rent your car out to people and you get to set your own prices. Picture Airbnb, but for cars. Turo takes a cut of like 10 to 30% of your earnings for insurance in case your guest is street racing your car, which happened, by the way. I got 3 speeding tickets in the mail from my last Turo guest who took my car at 107 miles an hour. They also did drugs in my car. You always hear stories of how bad people treat rentals, but you don't really know just how bad people treat them until you are the host. This was the most, I think, interesting side hustle I did, but honestly, there were just just so many headaches from customers being late, customers not responding, and Turo doing everything they can to make any insurance claim process as difficult as possible. Listen, can we leave scummy insurance companies in 2024? Anyways, in the 3 months that I did Turo, I made $1,683. And then came 2024, where I was accepted on both GrubHub and Amazon Flex. Now, GrubHub is the third of the food delivery giants. And from my experience from being a driver, I feel like GrubHub pays the most in terms of just their base pay. However, they make it really hard to go back in-app and see your yearly earnings. So I have to estimate, I think I've made about $1,000 this year with just GrubHub. And then there's Amazon Flex, which takes everything there is bad about being an Amazon worker and just making it a little bit worse. The problem with their package delivery is that you don't get your route given to you until you already get there and you're in their like loading zone. You have no idea where you're going to be working until you already get there. And the thing about the warehouse as well is that they're willing to send you like 100 miles away from the warehouse in any direction. So you have no possible way of predicting where you're going to be sent until you already get there. And it's too late. Like you can't cancel like when you get there. I mean, maybe you can, but you wouldn't be an Amazon delivery driver for very long. Just not worth the risk. So that's why I don't do it very often, and this year I only made $605.50 from Amazon Flex. So from all these side hustles that I just mentioned, that's a total of over the last 4 years of $79,651.67, which is $19,000 per year, which obviously would not be enough for me to live off of, and that's because the bulk of my income comes from YouTube. On this channel, over the last 4 years, I've made $95,557.92 just from ad revenue, and that number right there is after YouTube's cut, so I did see all of this. Well, like 80% of it. The other 20% went to Uncle Sam. But this number doesn't include brand deals I've done, and a rough estimate over the last 4 years, I think I've made about $15,000 from all brand deals. And lastly, my fitness and lifestyle channel is monetized, and over the last year, here are all the videos I put up, and I made $107.58, which I'm okay with, because with these channels, I'm not trying to make quick short-term money. I'm just trying to make the best videos I can, which is why my yearly income for the last 4 years is an average of $47,770, and after gas, equipment, and other YouTube expenses, that's closer to about $42,000, maybe $40,000 to $42,000. And going forward, I'll likely continue to do the same amount of gig work I've done in the last several years, around that $20,000 a year mark. And I'll continue to find new ways to bring content to this channel that both entertains you and helps you do something better with your own life. That's all.